Do you have to reinvent the wheel for every project? Are you feeling overwhelmed? Are you feeling overworked? Do you feel burned out? So if that's the case, then you're going to have to analyze everything that you've been doing so far and also think about what your goal is for your business. Is it, it's not always just about income goals, but also about lifestyle goals. Is it to have more freedom, more time with your kids, more money without having to work 24/7? Then it's the right moment to set goals and kind of see how you can reach those goals without feeling always so tired and clueless about what the next step is. And also what sometimes happens is that we have business owners who understand that they need to delegate. The CEO mindset of I cannot do everything alone. I'm going to have to start delegating to someone, except knowing that you should do it isn't going to be enough to make delegating successful in your business. You know how you imagine that you're going to start your own business and you're going to have more free time with your family, but then you end up glued to your phone worrying about deadlines? Well, the KVM team is committed to supporting interior designers worldwide with their workload, so tasks that sit outside their zone of genius, so that they can focus on what matters most to them. With our help, these designers can grow their business without the costs and hassle of having full-time employees. Hey, I'm Chris. I'm the director of KVM Interior Design, an outsourcing firm that supports interior designers. In today's video, I want to talk to you about the 3 things that you need before you start delegating to a freelancer or a full team like ours. Delegating to someone when it's the first time, it's not easy and it takes practice to master being a good manager. So when I started delegating, it was horrible. I thought, how can I teach people that they are supposed to outsource, they're supposed to delegate to others if they want to grow, and it's being so difficult for me to do the same. Because when I started delegating, I was not a manager. It was just me, and I just wanted someone to take on the work, but I was not willing to either train them or explain exactly what I wanted. And what I realized was that I wasn't even clear about what it was that I was expecting from them. So if I wasn't clear, how could this team be clear about what I wanted? And it was a nightmare because every time they came back with something and I was not happy about it, instead of just telling them what the issue was, I was always correcting the work myself. So they made the same mistakes over and over again. I would give up, fire them, get someone else. The result would be the same. And that's where I understood that it's not enough to know that you need to delegate to have a successful experience with delegating. So this is why I wanted to do this video today, because I want you to understand that knowing that you need to delegate isn't going to be enough. You need those 3 things. And I'm going to start with number 1, and it's to have a CEO mindset. I know you hear this all the time. It's getting annoying, but really, mindset is everything. You need to be willing to invest in your business to grow. It's the language as well that you use that is going to make a difference. For example, spending instead of investing. When I hire someone to help me with something, I invest in that person because I know what they do is going to be better done if it's them doing it instead of me. It means that I'm going to have more free time, that the results they're going to bring into the company are going to be much higher than what I'm going to be paying them. And that is why I'm investing in my business. When I invest in a financial strategy, I invest in something that will make me 10 times what I invested in the first place. It's also about understanding that being a business owner doesn't mean that you need to do everything. In fact, if you are a business owner, you should be doing less of everything because the more free time you have, the more time you have to actually think about the business, think about the clients, think about what they need, think where you want to take the company. Because if you don't have time for strategy and planning, then you're either going to stagnate in your business or you are going to fail. And that's why 80% of businesses fail nowadays. I do mindset work still now once a week, and it really helps me because sometimes, like everybody, I feel scarcity. Sometimes I feel like an imposter. When you start growing, when you step outside of your zone of comfort, you will get new blocks along the way. So if you don't work on these blocks and how you can move past them, you're never really going to grow. Okay, Number 2, you need clear processes. I know processes is a word that is thrown out there all the time, but really, what are processes? Processes are just step by step of everything that is happening in your business, of what you do when a lead comes in, up until the moment that you onboard them as a client. What is your step by step? Do you have a clear process of how you take a lead that is maybe a warm lead to actually signing them as a client? Do you have to think about what you need to do when you onboard a new client? Oh, I need to send them a contract. Okay, I need to edit my contract. And what do I need to send next? Oh, I need to send them a welcome packet. And oh, shoot, I forgot to send them a questionnaire first. So when you don't have a clear process of how you do things in your business, you're going to be wasting a lot of your energy. You're going to be wasting a lot of your time. And the client experience that you're giving these leads or these clients is not going to be very good, because they're not going to get what they need when they need it. Maybe they're not even going to receive anything at all that they need to understand how to work with you. So having clear processes is going to be fundamental. And more than that, if you don't have clear processes, it will be very difficult for you to delegate, because you lack organization, you lack clear directions and expectations of what you want when you want it. So delegating for you is going to be a very big step that you're not going to be ready to take until you sit down, slow down, and think about what your process is for doing things. In my first year, when I started making good money, I kind of took not time off, because I still had people at that point. I always had people working for me because I have an outsourcing firm. However, it was just 2 people at first, and now we're almost 10 people. So it changed a lot. And when it was just me and another girl, of course, the process was much easier. But when I started seeing that we were growing, I sat down with my finance mentor, and we set up a 3-month strategy. The 3-month strategy was as follows. The first month, I was going to, my main priority was to work on my processes. So kind of understand everything that happened from lead capture to client onboarding to working with the client, and how the work was being sent to the team and how they were sending feedback. It was also about creating SOPs, standard operating procedures. It was just, either Loom videos or Word documents that outline for specific task everything that needed to be done. So for example, when I was doing project management, I would say, I received the project, I check the project, and I do this and I do that. So I was outlining the process, because if my process was clear, then hiring someone would be easy. I would just have to share my SOPs. I would just have to share the step by step, and it would be much clearer for them as well when they got started. The second month of my 3-month strategy was to think about who I wanted to hire. I had this tendency of just, I'm an action-oriented person. So I would just, I think I need a VA. I'm just going to find a VA. And then I was not clear about what I wanted the VA to do. So then it never worked out, because I didn't like that they couldn't do everything that I wanted, but it was not just the job of a VA, right? So of course, one person cannot do everything perfectly. I was always disappointed. Second month was just about getting clear. Right now, what is taking a lot of my time that I don't have to do myself. I could find someone to do this job for me, because right now this task or these tasks are taking me too much time. They are making me burned out. They are not a best use of my time as a CEO. So I kind of just brainstormed who I thought I needed as a priority. And then month 3, I would start doing a training and fine-tuning with them what I wanted from them, what I was expecting. And that brings me to number 3, which was to step into a manager role. A good manager understands that he or she needs to take a little bit more time initially, so be a bit more patient, to set clear expectations, communicate very well, and also be willing to train that person. When I hire a project manager, they're great at managing people, at managing projects in that case, reviewing the work of other designers, but it doesn't mean that they know anything about me. So I took the time to train them. I sent them the SOPs. I asked them if they had questions. We did kind of an onboarding meeting where we went over everything that was explained in the SOPs, making sure that they understood what it was that I was expecting, and then be willing for them to make mistakes, because they will make mistakes. And if you give up on the first go, you're not going to have a lot of success in your business. If you have kids, it's exactly the same. They are going to make mistakes. They're humans, right? They're kids. So if they make a mistake, you're just going to explain why they made a mistake, and you're going to let them try again. So it's really about whether you understand that delegating, like everything that you do at first, isn't going to be easy, but once you get good at it, you are a good manager, you have clear processes, you have the right mindset, this is where you're going to have the potential to bring a company from like 3K to 10K. If you want more tips on starting your business, growing your business, delegating, then follow our channel and give this video a like. I'll see you in the next video.